Alright, let's see if that'll keep recording now. So I've created this new meat inventory right here. So I'm going to press 9. And my original thought was to have a normal meat scan. See if I can make this any clearer. Here we go. Okay, so we got a normal meat scan. We've got a variable weight scan. We can probably combine these two, I think, after doing some more research. And then we got a waist scan. And I'm only running these separate so we can have different differentiating value in a header. So let's look at the normal meat scan first. Go ahead and push 1. And I've got some test barcodes here. So first it's going to come up and say this is our RF3. Here's a running total of a transaction number. And it's normal meat scan. There's our date and scan short or long code. So that means that you could scan either the long code, or you could scan the reorder number, which is the vendor ID, which is also been referenced as the parent item or the master code. So we'll scan this one first. Alright, for just a reference look, this is the item in SMS Pro. It's currently $375. This is the reorder number that we talked about. Now every item that has a UPC with a valid cost record is going to have a vendor ID, a vendor code. This unit of measure is the UC or W that will show up on the FM. Here's the base cost, the what I call the case pack, or how many in a case, and then here's the unit, as you'll see as we scan this next item. So we've scanned the short code, and it'll go and look up the long code. Move these SD cards out of the way. So it'll go ahead and find the long code if there's a cost record. If there's not a cost record, then the short code won't work. It's going to give us our description. It's going to give us our active price, the type of the active price. This line here is going to be blank because it's not variable weight, but the information is included. This is the retail, which may not be the active price because it could be on TPR or sale. Here's the margin. Here's the vendor ID, case cost, and pack size. So how many is in a case? This is based on the cost record, and we'll show that. This is the name of the vendor, and this is the unit price. I'll show you that in SMS Pro. Here's the sub-department. So the guy scanning the items can make sure that his meat are in the meat department. Now let's scan the long code. This one here. We'll do this other item. We'll do this one. This is my biscuits. Oh, first we got to enter a quantity. It says down here, enter quantity. So I'll go ahead and put 10 of them in there. And then we'll scan the next item. And you get the same information, no big deal. So we'll say 5 of those. And then I'm going to go back out to the meat menu and go into variable weight mode so you can see what that looks like. So I'm going to pick number 2, and it looks the same, all the information's the same. So here I've got a meat label. Fresh fruit, and I've got barbecue pulled pork. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and scan that barcode. And here you get the same screen, except for now you've got the 622 in the 0.89 pounds for the fresh fruit salad, and you'll see that here, 0.89 pounds. $6.22. It's the price, and the rest is coming out of the cost record. And now we can scan the next item. Okay, here you can see the cost record for that item. So it was $6.99 per pound, and that's what we're using to determine the weight. This is the master code, so anything, well, we'll explain that a little bit later. Here's the UC or W, which is unit of measure, which will be units, cases, or weight, which helps SMS determine how to calculate the cost. Base cost, how many pounds are in this base cost, and the unit cost, 5.8317. This is in 4 decimal places. If you rewind and look at the item, it's only showing 2, so I can probably make that show 4. So that's a quick breakdown on the item that we just scanned. Same thing there. Everything looks good. Let's go back to the meat menu, and we'll go take a quick look at the waste scan, which is still in progress. So we'll go to 3. And from here, you're going to have an XML file, and it's going to have the reason for the waste. So I'll just say 1 out of date. Okay, so in the FM folder, where the FM engine is going to be, you're going to have a meat waste.xml file, and it looks like that. So it looks like a little tree. So we could easily add stuff and deploy this XML file. And if you open up with a text editor, it looks simply, nope, like this. Just reasons, and there's a reason with a description, and that's what will show up. And I will scan, you can scan variable weight or plessy code or long code. Scan anything you want. I'm just going to scan this. And we'll enter a quantity of 2. All the information is the same, it's just the way that's calculating it and capturing it, it's going to be a little different. So now I'm going to go back and take some screenshots and do some video merging and kind of put it all together so that you can see the whole picture. Okay, as it pertains to master and slave records, really what it comes down to is the warehouse order number. So let's say we get one big slab of meat, and the warehouse number is 773846, and it comes from Mike's Meat Vendor, vendor ID 1234. I can then take that one big slab of meat, and I can create barbecue rolls, and it will have a price per pound of $6.54, and that's what will be programmed, into my label printer, meat scale. And so when I print off the labels for this item, I would have this UPC, and the price would be over here in the last 4 digits, but it's linked back to this reorder number, this master item. It doesn't really matter what it's called, but this is the number, and the next video will be determined how we can figure out what this is called. So now I could have barbecue pulled pork, and if you notice, if I switch back and forth and you watch this number here, these numbers do not change, the cost record does not change, but the price per pound does change. So that's the core basis on how SMS is linking up multiple variable weight items to a master record, that if you received this master record and we knew how many pounds were in a case, then we could track how much we purchased and how much we sold, and if we don't receive it, then we still have a master detail link. We just don't yet have a way to have a description for what this actually is yet. Alright, one possibility for the way that meat inventory book report was sorting by like deletes and corn dogs and things where we really didn't have a family code or a category or no way to sort them, we could use the alternate description. That's a possibility. And sort by that. So you'd have barbecue rolls and barbecue pulled pork and whatever else you wanted. And then when we build the meat report price book, we could use this as a sort field or a group field, and that would group them up. So that would give us master detail. And hopefully I'll have another video on another routine that we have in process for importing the meat items, to where you can say there's a master record, and when you import these items in, it will find the master record, and based on this vendor code, and automatically populate all the other fields in the cost record on the import. So hopefully that will be added to the end of this video. If not, we'll make another video later on when we get that back together.